Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off day 32, I believe it is. No, make that day 33. Working on this S70 GLT with my buddy Kent. Looks like he's got a failed headlight here. It's dim. It may work and it may glow, but I promise you it is not shining any light on the street. So he's traveling with one good headlight. So if you see him coming down the road, look like he's winking at you, his car is. We're going to do the PCV job, check a few other things, and try to make sure he's running good and strong before we get out of here today. Got the intake manifold off. As you can see, this busted up PCV system was dumping oil back into the intake. This is probably one of the worst cases I've seen of intake valves and stuff being oily from the PCV or the turbo blowing oil back in there because the PCV is messed up. There you have an intake manifold with crud caked up in there. Let me see if my light is on here. It's not. Let me get my light on. This is the oil and gunk down in the intake manifold from the PCV being bad. And like I said, it's about the worst case of oil blowing into the intake valve from it. I'm going to take you down to see this lower port on this PCV system being probably 50% clogged. That's the upper port there, very little there, but I'm going to drag all that out and clean that out. But this PCV system was broke up in several pieces, and somebody tried to fix it with heater hose, and there's oil on top of the engine from it blowing in there. So it's real important to get this PCV system working so you don't have all this bad oil transfer. Here's the breather box. The port on the bottom of the breather box almost totally clogged there. Right now we're at a work stoppage because the kit that we have does not have the clamps that we need to put everything back together. So it's another fine example of a part supplier selling Euro parts that they got on the cheap and not giving the people everything they need to put everything together. So try to get your parts from a Volvo reputable supplier, because some of these suppliers will leave you hanging. I cleaned out the PTC valve here on the end of the intake tube. Every corner of this was clogged up. The side port was clogged up. As you see, it's open now, has a little brass piece in it. This was clogged up and didn't have access through the inside of the tube. I used a utility screwdriver, poked down through that. I don't like taking this apart anymore because that rubber is getting so old, and when it cracks and breaks, it could be a vacuum leak. This is on the vacuum side of the turbo. So the turbo's pulling air in through there, and you don't want a vacuum leak there. You can see that little grommet there is starting to split, but that is not the main part of it, so I'm not concerned about it being a vacuum leak. But make sure you get this PTC cleaned out and spray it with carb cleaner. Make sure you get flow through every orifice. So I use my little utility screwdriver to make sure it poked down through the hole on the inside of the tube. New Orleans style dining. You got your gas pumps there, and you got your deli and restaurant there. Get all the good grub and fill up your tank while you're at it. I'm here in New Orleans. I'm currently standing at minus 11 feet below sea level. So I'm 11 feet below sea level. I'm sure you hopefully know that most of New Orleans is below sea level. I've seen a reading on my GPS as much as 42 feet below sea level. So when the rains come, it's possible for flooding to happen. All right. Here's my gas station spread. Got some potato salad that is absolutely delicious. The shrimp's good. I hadn't hit the oysters yet. I got some peas, which looks good, and then I got some baked mac and cheese. Fresh off the sideways gas station. I'm about to get my grub on. I heard I'm going to get the itis after this. And I got my Big Shot 24-ounce drink.
Me too.
Got the PCV system back together. Adjusted the throttle cable back over the turbo tube. I'm seeing that a lot. Seems to be a running theme. Some of the turbo tubing is getting soft because a lot of the oil that was blowing through the turbo system. But when we hooked everything back up, hit the starter, we have a no crank situation. So we got an electrical issue of some sort causing a no crank. I'm going to put a socket on the front of the harmonic balancer, roll the engine over just to make sure it's not locked up for some strange reason. He said it was running a couple weeks ago. And then we'll start fooling with this electrical stuff here on this battery. See if we can get more juice to the starter. I hear the solenoid clicking, but maybe not enough power is getting to the starter to get it to crank over. I'm going to check the ground on it and stuff like that. I took the connector off of this non-Volvo connector as I was cleaning it off of that wire that goes back to the fuse box, and this wire here that goes down to the starter. The thing actually came loose from the starter, so my guesstimate is that that wasn't secure for that cable to the starter, so that's probably what stopped it from getting enough juice to start. So I'm going to clean that off, reconnect it, and hopefully get it going. Tried to start the vehicle. Believe it or not, a 4-month-old fuel pump with less than a mile on it is bad. So I had a spare pump with me. I'm going to use that to get Kent rolling, and we should be firing this car up any minute now. We got the fuel line on the pump in place. I'm going to try to hook this vacuum line in the engine where it goes up there by the firewall. Had a vacuum line loose. Then I'm going to try to start the car. This vacuum hose here is loose. The line was just deteriorated, so I'm going to hook that up. Just bump the starter one time, wait 3 seconds, and then try to fire it up. Alright, it's a first start. Alright, go ahead, hold it this time. Fired up, it's going to smooth out, and it should be good to go. Start driving it again. Alright, it's passing the glove test. It's trying to suck the air in the glove. It was blowing it right up. After you get around and drive it a little bit, it should quiet down. Wrapping up day 33, driving along the lake here in Louisiana, New Orleans. The lake is to my left. The levee's been rebuilt a little higher than it was before. So a lot of people actually park along the right side of this street and walk up on the top of the levee there. Nice scenic view. Ended day 33, did a PCV job, ended up doing a fuel pump and getting a battery cable situation straightened out. Got the car started. One of the fuel lines on the fuel pump was leaking. Probably somebody tried to remove it with a pair of pliers or something in the past. I normally try to use hook nose pliers and get under it and lift it up that way. Less chance of damaging those fuel lines on top of the fuel pump. At any rate, that fuel pump that was bad was only about 6 months old. So just kind of a strange situation. At any rate, the PCV kit that owner had purchased was off of some eBay seller, I believe, didn't have any clamps in the kit. It's kind of important to get clamps with those PVC kits. It was a Euro kit, so we did not use all of those parts, especially that metal ring on the bottom of the oil trap box. I just can't imagine anybody going through that kind of stuff that the one guy went through with those oil leaks. So we're going to start off tomorrow heading to the Nashville, Tennessee area. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.